to a great marriage cast, and we are going to have LaRonda. We're going to have LaRonda sing one of Miss Omi's songs. Miss Omi is LaRonda's mother, and she wrote this song many years ago. So here is LaRonda.
Hello, everybody. This was written 6/20/1994. When Satan gets me down, Jesus picks me up. He turns my life around and overflows my cup. He gives me peace of mind and sets my spirit free. When Satan gets me down, Jesus rescues me. We're tempted and tried in this old world below. Satan's working hard, he's going to and fro. He's always seeking whom he may devour. He knows that Jesus can come just any hour. Don't let your troubles pull you down. Get down on your knees. He'll wipe away the frown. He'll make you smile again. Your life will be complete. Your heart will fill with joy. His spirit is so sweet. When Satan gets me down, Jesus picks me up. He turns my life around and overflows my cup. He gives me peace of mind and sets my spirit free. When Satan gets me down, Jesus rescues me. That was Mom's song. Thank you, Mom, for all these wonderful songs you wrote down that God gave you. We love them.
See if that works. Okay. It's been a while since we've been on the notebook
Yes.
or the iPad. It was donated to us so that we could use it for the ministry, but we haven't used it very much. I use it all the time, but
Yeah,
not,
you do.
not for this. We might ought to. We had trouble up and running because of our Wi-Fi, but this notebook has Wi-Fi built in, so
That'd be better.
it won't lose us. So we'll see what happens here. Tonight we had Exo Marriage a few weeks ago had sent out 3 articles. We've covered 2 of them. The last one is "This changed my perspective on marriage forever," and so I thought that we would read it today. There is one on cherishing your spouse, and I need I forget.
Daily what?
No, Focus on the Family
Focus on the Family.
is has a study that you can do. Maybe I can get LaRonda to do it because as I looked over the points, I didn't know exactly what they were talking about on a couple of them, like chance bid brings closeness or something like that. So I had no idea what they were talking about. So maybe you can watch all the videos and then we could discuss it
Sure.
another time. But I'll send you the link. Let
Okay.
you sign up for it.
Sounds good. I'll do it.
But that's what why I chose this one today. It's and it sounded interesting as I started to reading it. It says, "You see, when we pursue a relationship with someone simply because of the way they make us feel, we are essentially turning another individual into our own personal servant who is meant to satisfy our desires." So, anything yet?
No. Say that one more time.
Repeat.
Repeat, please.
You see, when we pursue a relationship with somebody simply because of the way they make us feel,
Okay.
we are essentially turning another individual into our own personal servant who is meant to satisfy our desires.
Gotcha. In dating, sometimes you'll date somebody because they'll take you out for supper and go to the movies, you know.
Or they're entertaining.
Or they're entertaining, exactly, you know, one or the other. And instead of choosing to love them, you choose.
Or they bring flowers and chocolates and
Exactly.
make you feel good.
Yeah, and then finally you get tired of that, you know, after a while.
In my bachelor's days, I fell into a vicious cycle of meet somebody new, go on a few dates, things fizzle out, rinse and repeat.
Well, when I was dating, I would only go on one date. I knew, you all,
Oh, okay.
not two, not three. I knew first date, this guy could be somebody really good friends, or no friends, no nothing. It only took me one date, I promise. Only
I
one.
always gave them 2 dates. I didn't want to give them a complex, make them feel like something.
Jeanette Stokes.
I had done something, and that there was something wrong with them or anything. And so I always went out with them twice. Just
Once for me.
You know, just
It was just
light-
once.
light
And
stuff.
and I would tell him the truth. Listen, you know, you're a handsome guy. You're very, and somebody will be very blessed to have you. But I just feel like we're kind of friends. I don't think we could ever have like a relationship to go on into. Because most of the time when you're in your 50s or 60s, you're looking for something long term.
You
You're
don't-
not
You
wanting.
don't have time. for
Don't
the
have
second
time to
that.
wait. I don't want to date you for 5 months and waste my time. So
This pattern really frustrated me because I didn't want to play games. I was ready for marriage, or so I thought.
yeah, so I thought.
One day I was grabbing pizza with my already married best friend and was catching him up on my love life when, as I talked to what were they like, and the most important question, why didn't things work out? I was in the middle of telling him and externally processing those experiences when my buddy interrupted and said, "Marriage isn't for you, Chad." What?
Marriage isn't for you.
I have friends that were like that too. You've had enough. Give up on marriage.
Just
It's not
forget
for
it.
you.
Become a monk.
Yeah, become a monk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was thinking he clearly was sneaking glasses of wine, or the pizza had gone bad because what? I thought of myself as the most eligible bachelor I knew, and the most horrible. I'm joking about the last part, but I really did think of myself as the marriage type. Why would my best friend, who was in a thriving marriage, tell me I was not marriage material? I was stunned, so I pressed him for an explanation to this blasphemy, but he simply repeated himself, "Chad, marriage isn't for you." I was thinking to myself, okay, so I did hear him correctly, but I sure as what don't understand why he feels that way. Then he firmly softened the blow by explaining what he meant, and it rocked my world. His explanation completely changed the way I view marriage. When he said marriage wasn't for me, he explained he didn't mean I'm not cut out for marriage, which gave me a huge sigh of relief. He was telling me that marriage isn't for me. Then he continued, you don't marry somebody for the way they make you feel.
That's right.
You marry somebody for the way you want to make them feel. In my mind, I was objecting. But what about my feelings?
Me.
What about what I want? But my friend was spot on. Show me a single time selfishness has served a marriage, and I'll stand corrected. Has served a marriage. Okay.
Selfishness has never served a marriage, is what you mean.
Okay.
Being selfish.
Selfishness has never served a marriage.
Yeah.
And I stand corrected. Okay. You see, when we pursue a relationship with somebody simply because of the way they make us feel, we are essentially turning another individual into our own personal servant who is meant to satisfy our desires. That's the quote we took at the beginning.
Right.
That may work at first, but what if your desire changes and they can't fulfill them? Like you said, they'll get old after a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buying you flowers and chocolate every day.
Yeah.
Or some women are out there, oh, that
I
sounds
love
lovely.
it.
Yeah.
I want some chocolate.
Wait till you're 350 pounds and smell
And
like a lilac.
And wear a size 30 in a
You're
pant.
prepared for the casket. Does that mean you are now free to move on to somebody else who does give you what you want?
No.
What if the things you love about the person and the reasons you're with them change? Say they gain weight from all the chocolate you're
From all the chocolate. And they smell like lilacs and you sneeze.
You're like, they got 1 foot in the grave. Okay. Say they or they lose their job or go through a depression. If they no longer have the attributes you love, then does that give you the right to unlove them?
No. Absolutely not.
All these are tough questions, I know, but not for Miranda.
No.
But as we open the scriptures, we see things like, it is more blessed to give than to receive, Acts 20:35.
It really is.
We also read, wives, be willing to serve your husbands, Ephesians 5:22. But we also find just a few verses below, husbands, love your wives the same as Christ loved the church and gave his life for it, Ephesians 5:25.
So don't you think both of those would be serving one another? You know, both of those. Wives, what did it say to do?
Uh-huh.
What did it say? Wives what?
Serve
your husband.
and love your wife.
And yeah.
And love your. Yeah.
So if you love your wife like Jesus loved the church, there's no greater love than that. And if you do that, a wife loves to serve beside her husband. She doesn't love to serve beside him if he doesn't show her love. Doesn't work out.
What do you hear when you read these verses? Because I'm hearing that marriage isn't for me, it's for God and my spouse. So whether you are single as a Pringle,
Single as a Pringle.
have been married for years, or anything in between, it's never too late to learn that marriage isn't for you. Let's take the focus off of how we feel and what we think we should get, and put the emphasis on how your person feels and what we are giving to marriage. Well, my person didn't explain that to me.
So, as a man, what did that mean to you? As women, I kind of know. But he always says, I'm going to interview you, so I'm going to ask him
Well,
that
like
question.
I always say, you can't make me happy.
I didn't say that. I'm talking about the very last part. About the serving, and that it's not about you, it's about what can you do for your wife and for God.
Oh, you mean the middle of it?
No, at the very end.
Ephesians 5:25?
Yeah, I mean, it says, no, he said, so it's not about me. My marriage is not about me. It's about God and my wife.
No, he said that I am not
Read it.
made for marriage.
No, I know.
So whether you're a Pringle or have been
Single or Pringle.
married for years or anything in between, it's never too late to learn that marriage isn't for you.
Right.
Let's take the focus off how we feel and what we think we should get, and put the emphasis on how our person our person feels and what we are giving to marriage.
There you go. It's
Like,
like, what if it was me for you, I would be like, well, how is what I'm doing making my husband feel, and what am I doing for my marriage? But it has to be vice versa. The man has to be that way too. If he shows you love, like, you want to serve him more if he shows you love. So, I mean, what does that mean to a man? I know what it means to a woman. But what do you think about, we'll use me and you, what do you think about that you're supposed to feel like, you're supposed to be wondering what I feel, and then what you can do for our marriage?
well, God.
Well, God first, always. He's always first. But how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel like, or does that make you feel like that's a purpose that you have in a marriage? I mean, how does it, I'm putting words in your mouth, but what do you feel?
It, the marriage isn't for me, it's for God, first of all, and then it's for the other person.
Which would be me,
Okay?
in our instance. So, I mean, what does that make you feel like if you're supposed to be wondering what I feel? What's my feelings? I mean, what does that make a man feel like? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
Well, it is kind of difficult because we don't know how to love. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
The wife's job, according to Love and Respect, the book, is to teach the man how to love the woman. So it's kind of hard for us to do that. It's also kind of hard to know exactly what the woman needs or wants, because sometimes that's not.
Well, and every woman's different.
conducive.
You know, I mean, every situation is different. Every woman's different. Every man's different. You know, you have some men that are lovey-dovey. You know, my son is very lovey-dovey. Your son is very touchy-feely. And then there's some men that doesn't even want to hold your hand. I mean, you know, everybody's different. You may, I don't know if
And things change,
They
and
do.
that's one of the things is, you know, you may marry somebody and they're very lovey-dovey, and then then they're not.
he doesn't have to worry about that. I'm too lovey-dovey. It will never end. It will be forever.
But
No, that's.
like
I'm
you
playing
said,
around.
you took the love language.
I did.
And you thought yours would be physical touch, but it wound up being like
Time.
quality time.
Quality time. Physical touch was second. Words of affirmation was third.
Yeah.
So I figured.
And I would have thought that words of affirmation would be second. Of
Yeah.
course, quality time would not have hit my radar.
Me either. And I'm like, you know, it's true. And that's the reason I tried to grab night time with him. Like when he would get in the bed, because we were going to 5 CRs a week, sometimes 6. And we never really had any, what I would say, even though we were together all the time, what I would consider quality time. So that surprised me that came up in mine. You know, because I figured words of affirmation and touch, because I'm a touchy-feely. If I'm sitting next to you, I'm loving on you or touching you. And if it's a friend or anybody, I'm like loving and patting. But mine was quality time. And his was gift giving. And I'm like, where did that come from?
I don't know.
I don't know. Giving and receiving gifts.
There's always been physical touch before,
Yeah.
and words of affirmation.
Isn't that something? And his sister always says me and him have so many things alike. It's not even funny. So, you know, God knows what He's doing when He puts somebody together. And we choose. If He gives us a chance to be with somebody, and then we choose to love that person, it kind of works out like it's supposed to. Don't you think? But that was good. That was good. And so you said that there's videos.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow we can talk about this study that
Okay.
because I don't really have time to watch the videos. But
No, you're too busy.
But,
He's too busy doing his Waycast. Make sure you watch that. He is going through the Bible, verse by verse. And he's in Luke 19?
that was last night.
Okay, Luke 20 tonight. So,
5 more chapters and we're done with Luke. We will have Matthew, Mark, and Luke in 5 more days.
Matthew, Mark, and Luke, done. So, I mean, praise God. He works very hard on that too. So, if you get a chance, join him on the
Usually we can
Waycast.
talk about things without actually watching the videos, but they were using terms that didn't make sense to me.
Okay. Well, we'll try that. And maybe we can talk about it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Katie? Come here, Katie.
I don't know.
Come
She's
here.
underneath me.
Come here.
I feel her licking my leg.
Come here. Come here. We'll get her to do the good night with us,
Let's see. So we need you to like
please.
and subscribe.
Yes.
We have
Share.
share. You guys have done a great job of sharing over the last month. It looks like.
Thank you.
There was 18 shares over the last month.
Oh, that's great.
We picked up 23, I think, subscribers.
Thank
We
you.
got the monthly report today, and then hit the ding-a-ling
Ding, 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 ling.
so you can get notifications so that you'll know when we come on, so that you can ask
Look that way,
questions or
look
make
that way.
comments if you like.
Please.
If you don't ask, if you're too shy to ask comments now, you can leave comments later, and then we will answer those questions in later podcasts. If you ask good enough questions, we may make a podcast all about your question.
Please do.
And then I think that's all of them, isn't it?
Yep. That's all of them.
That's all of them. So with that, we say
Good night, until we meet again. Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, till then. And though it's always sweet sorrow to know you'll always remain in my heart. Good night, sleep tight, and as it creeps to you, there's a wish and a prayer that every dream comes true. And now till we meet again.
adios, au revoir,
Auf Wiedersehen.
good night.